Have you ever heard of the Yaqubian building? It's a pretty famous book written by an equally famous Egyptian writer, and essentially it tells the story of Egypt through the story of one building, the Yaqubian building. Well, it's a concept that's been in our minds for quite some time, and we've decided to use that concept, that very building over there, to tell the story of Egypt 1 year after the revolution. Here in what they colloquially call the tourism building. But you can't just walk into any building in Egypt. You've got to actually have an inn. And this door here is where our inn began. It's the home of Imad Abu Basha. He brought us in here. This was where we first landed, and he's introduced us to some of his neighbors. So we've been walking around the building for the last few days to kind of capture the kind of dynamic that is here, because the interesting thing about this place is that it's a regular residential building, but in the last few months, an Islamist party actually moved in here and changed everything. So it's really representative of what is happening in Egypt, because, as you know, before the revolution, Islamist parties couldn't even exist. They weren't even allowed to. So anyway, they brought us up here to meet Nisreen and Ahmad. That's their home here. Really, I feel privileged that we met you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you probably see our equipment. We've been lugging this stuff around up and down the stairs. And there's Stephanie Genzer, who's the brains behind the operation. She's the producer. There's all our stuff. So it's a 10-floor building. We've been going up and down and meeting different people and just basically waiting for things to happen. And at one point, we actually were trying to interview people from the Islamist party, and they essentially told us it was not possible, even though they made an appointment with us, because their boss had quit. And so lots of drama, lots of people coming in, big meeting a couple of days ago. It takes a lot of time to actually build a story like this. We've been visiting every single floor and taking shots. Actually, Osama, who's behind the camera, has been taking shots of everything. The doors, the light fixtures, the posters that are outside the Islamist office. And also it takes time to get people to talk to us. So we've had a lot of tea and a lot of coffee and a lot of time spent explaining the concept of this story, because it isn't every day that a TV crew just kind of shows up and wants to hang out in a building for a few days. Some people find that a little bit suspicious. Now here we're coming up to the roof of this building. It's about 10 floors here. And the building is actually about 25 years old. It's a pretty strong building, we're told, but little quirky things. This is the apparatus for the elevator, which we showed you earlier. It's quite basic. That's the electrical board there. You'll see that everybody has their satellite dishes out here for watching TV. And if you actually look across the horizon, it's one of the dominant features of Cairo's skyline. Everybody's got satellite television. Of course, that's a new phenomenon, but very politically literate, these people. And look at this view. Got the Nile on this side of the building, and a lot of the apartments have views on that. Beautiful to wake up to. And then on the other side, I'll show you in a minute, we've got the pyramids. It's actually not too far from here as well. That up there is where Osama stood, actually. We had to hoist the camera up and get him up there to get pictures of the Nile and the pyramids. He just likes to cause trouble. So we'll just go over here and look at the pyramids, because again, it's a pretty breathtaking view. Anyway, so the building is about 25 years old, and there's about 40 households here, a mix of political and religious views. There's Stephanie again. So just over here are the pyramids. So as locations go, you can't get any better than that. Take a look at that, pretty amazing. But it is representative, this building, of the political variety in the way people think these days post-revolution. As you know, an election just happened. There are a variety of points of view, and yes, the Islamists have dominated, but not everyone is comfortable with the idea. And in this building, we've heard enough different points of view to get a sense of the kinds of divisions that we see among people. But the one thing we've consistently heard from people in this building and beyond here is that what's happening now is a trial, and that if indeed Egypt is about to embark on democracy, then surely if they don't like a party, then they can vote them out next time.